Hey, welcome everybody to the Marketing Checklist Viewcast. Here we are once again. Hank and Sharon Uloff from Uloff Creative Marketing Solutions here with you. When you're looking to solve your marketing, your HR, all those business ideas, we are here to help you.
On this viewcast, you will meet and learn from successful entrepreneurs who are out there making it happen right now.
Right now. And here's how it works. We have sent our guests, like we send all of our guests, pre-selected questions. If you've gone through the viewcast, several of them, you're going to notice, actually, you're going to start to get to a point where you could be sitting here asking the questions and we could be out there watching it. So we send them the questions. They have sent us the answers. We have it all so that we're ready to go and give you the best information we have.
Here's the kicker. The interview is just 7 minutes and 21 seconds long.
Why 7:21?
It's our wedding anniversary.
Yes, July 21 is our anniversary. And that's why it's 7 minutes, 21 seconds. Some of our guests wish we had gotten married in September.
Alas.
That's the way it goes. So let's get started. Who introduce our guests?
Our guest today is Dr. Gregory Canillas. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Canillas.
Canillas. I'm so sorry.
I'm just going to call him Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're going to DGC. I'm not ready. So.
He is president and CEO of Soul2Soul Global. We will hear more about that in just a second.
All right. Are you ready to go, Doctor?
I am.
Okay. I am going to start. The clock will start as soon as Sharon finishes asking the first question.
All right. Keeping in mind, we only have a 3-story building. What is your elevator story?
So Soul2Soul really helps people to create healthier relationships through transformative couples and parenting retreats. That's what we do. We want to make the family strong. We want to make couples stronger.
Awesome.
Like us.
Like you, like 721.
Exactly.
So what is your business really all about?
So we provide like online and on-ground couples retreats. Obviously, because COVID, we have been impacted with the on-ground retreats, but we're looking to start that again in January, actually in February, I'm sorry. January got pushed back a little bit. So February in San Francisco, and then in Scottsdale in March, and DC in April. And we're going to be in a different city every month. And those are the couples.
I would go to DC. I would go to San Francisco. Good choice of cities.
Yeah, and most of them were built around events that are happening in the city. They may or may be impacted by COVID, so I don't know. But for example, DC is around the Cherry Blossom Festival. So hopefully people will be able to come to the retreat and then also do things after. Couples who travel have a better rate of staying together. That's one of the things that we find in psychological literature. I'm a psychologist by training, and so that's part of my background.
Awesome. Awesome.
We travel. Yay.
Yay.
We travel together.
We would travel to DC. My mom is, so yeah. Why should I flock to you?
Because we really help people to create better, more fulfilling relationships. And so that's the mission of the company. We're a mission-driven company. And we want to see people happy in their relationships, happy people who are in couples relationships. Then if they have children, produce happy children, and so on. And so we end up, impacting both the couple as well as the family. It has some of a ripple effect.
And then the culture as well, right?
And then the culture, absolutely. Absolutely.
What tips could you give to our listeners?
So one of the things that I think we really focus on in the Soul2Soul retreats is communication. Communication is key to any relationship. It's the foundation of a really good relationship. The more you communicate openly with your partner, the better the outcome of the relationship. So I think that's one of the takeaways that we often focus on in our retreats.
Awesome. What's an amusing job title for what you do?
So helper, healer, breaker of chains. And by breaker of chains, I mean generational curses. So I know sometimes people think that that's related to Game of Thrones. There's a character who was breaker of chains. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Helping people to break generational curses, helping them to move forward in their relationships, again, so that they impact future generations positively and not negatively.
Awesome. What are some of the most common questions that people ask you about your business?
I think what are the keys to a successful relationship? Like, what do you need to do for your relationship to last? I mean, as you know, like tons of people get married and they get divorced. I have several friends, family members who've had that experience. So what are the keys to successful relationships? And really in the retreat, we focus on things like communication, around like sex, finances, family origin issues, etc.
You know what? I'm gonna end up having this clock a little long because I want to share something with you. Before we got married, we were in couples counseling, and one thing we learned that we have used for 30 years. You know how sometimes you'll ask a question and then you think the other partner doesn't answer, or they're just ignoring you. We figured, our counselor said, the other person probably just didn't hear you. So if you're formulating your answer, you say, thinking, and then that lets you know you were heard. That one little communication trick has saved so many arguments from not happening, or so many feelings from not being heard. So yes. I would bet that you offer lots of little tips like that.
Absolutely. And that's a great example of ways to communicate. And it seems simple, but as you said, it probably impacted your relationship for years and reduced the stress, all that stuff. So yeah, those things are things that we cover in the retreats, because everybody wants to be seen and heard. And so that really speaks to that. So thank you for adding that, Hank.
Totally important. So what's been one of the most unexpected things you've encountered in your business?
So I talk about this with students because I have a course that I teach with students and they're doing a business plan, a psychology course. I'm training therapists, but they want to be in private practice. And one of the real interesting things that I found is like the unscrupulous nature of people in business. Like they don't really focus on relationships. They focus on like the immediate goal. Like, I want to sell your product. I don't care if it really does impact your business or not, just as long as I get the money in the short term. I don't care about that. And I can tell you stories about that. We have 721, so I won't tell you them, but I can just tell you that I've had a lot of experiences with that. In my company, own personal life, I really build on relationships. I have relationships with students I've been teaching for like 20 some years that go back 20 years because I built the relationship. So those things I think are important, and that's lost on a lot of people in the business world, which is a bit surprising to me.
Do you have a favorite business tool that you use?
Email. So it's lifeline, I guess, business.
I thought getting email. Wow.
Yeah. MailChimp for newsletters has been really helpful. Plug for MailChimp, I guess. That's been really good. Hootsuite, we use those business things, but email, I think just emailing and staying in contact with people, again, it's about the relationship, responding to people quickly, really, I think is really helpful.
And I'm pretty sure that in your emails, it's not all about selling, but it's about sharing information.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to sell because it's business, but obviously, you want to build a relationship. The hope is to build relationships with people in my company that are long lasting. So if they get married, they come for the couples retreats, they stay connected to the company because there are boosted things that we do, boosted things like, stress reduction workshops, and they can come to those. When they have kids, their parenting workshops. So it is all about the relationships, about creating relationships with people in addition to helping people have better relationships.
Okay. Along those lines, what is a 4-letter word that best describes your business?
I would say hope. So for people who have issues with their relationships, I think everybody comes into relationships wanting the best, but not realizing what issues they might encounter in long-term relationships. So it's giving people hope who want to stay together. I mean, it's a process. You all know, you've been married for years, I'm sure. That it's a process, a daily process. You have to pay attention to your relationship. People that don't do that often find that they don't have some relationships. But I think we try to give people hope.
Okay. So people are going to be listening to this and watching. What would be the ideal fantasy lead that you could get from this interview? Who do you want to be connected with? Who do you want people to reach out and say, hey, this guy and you need to be connected?
Well, that would be Oprah Winfrey, if possible.
Never heard that one before.
I've been on the show once, and I ran into her at an event once and have a picture with her. And the third time will be the charm. Third time, I'm like, Oprah, look, I think because I think she really would be into this. Like, this is about making people's lives better, which is her whole career. So that would be fantastic.
I guess you're going to have to move to Hawaii. She's on Maui, and you're just going to happen to run into her.
Hopefully.
We actually met somebody. We were talking to someone the other day that lives on Maui, and she said, "Yeah, I have to drop off a gift basket or something at her compound." Like, really?
Yeah, that might be hard to do. Imagine she has security.
Yeah, a little bit. So, how did you know that communication was going to be your calling? How did that occur to you?
So I've had my own challenges in relationships. I've had relationships where I've been in relationships and the person was cheating. I've had, I've had my own revelations about how I come into relationships and my own family of origin issues. And so through that and working with couples and working with families over a number of years, and teaching couples therapy and child adolescent therapy, really is a passion of mine.
Very, very cool. And if someone likes joint ventures, what would be a great joint venture for you to meet somebody with?
So probably connecting to people who are in the wedding industry. I was surprised a lot of people don't do what you guys did. They don't do premarital counseling. They don't do any form of premarital counseling. A lot of money and time is spent on the actual wedding, but people don't sit down with counselors and talk about things that could be potential pain points. And so connecting to wedding vendors, another surprising thing is nobody, in terms of wedding vendors, really focuses on premarital. So I'm a member of lots of wedding-oriented websites on there, but there's no category for me. They stick me with officiants. I'm like, that is not what I do.
No.
Nobody's gonna be able to find me, but thank you. So connecting to people who understand what this is like. There's a travel component too. I have a great partnership with a company, Curated Global Travel in Beverly Hills, who works on the travel end. But any partnerships like that would be fantastic.
That's excellent. And if you are watching and you're premarital, or even if you're postmarital, what the heck? Those communication skills and tips and tricks and everything are so important. We're gonna ask Doc for an offer he wants to give our listeners, but y'all pay attention to this and connect with him, because when you find a good one, when you're able to marry up, like way up, you want to hold on to them. And
yeah, absolutely.
I would bet that going taking some of your courses and your classes would be a great way to do it. So what's an offer they can begin to have a conversation with you?
So any of your listeners, if they reach out to me, can get 10% on any of the retreats, or those online retreats, or the on-ground retreats, or the SIMBIS counseling. SIMBIS we didn't talk about, but SIMBIS is a online assessment for couples created by two psychologists who are married. The couple takes it independently on their laptop or phone, and then it produces a report, and then we unpack the report in individual or group sessions.
That's spelled SYMBIS, SIMBIS?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's short for saving your marriage before it starts.
There you go. See, that's kind of like system. You know what system stands for? Save yourself some time, energy, and money. So I totally...
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it totally works, doesn't it?
Okay.
Awesome.
Good.
So we've gotten to the end. What's the best way for people to connect with you? What's your website? Let's get all the contact information.
Great. So Soul2SoulGlobal.com. So it's SOUL, number 2, SOUL Global, one word. People can come through the website and book a consultation, or send out an email if they have a quick question, or doc@Soul2SoulGlobal.com.
I love that. Doc.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool.
Great. Okay. So go connect with Doc. Make sure you connect with us at freemarketingconsultation.com.
Yep. If you go to freemarketingconsultation.com, you get a 30-minute free success call with us. We can go through any number of different things that help you build your business. Most people report back that that call was worth $10,000 in savings or extra sales. It's worth your time to connect with us. So,
and if you would like to be on the Viewcast as well, then when you go to free marketing consultation and you get on that success call with us, make sure you let us know so that we can get you scheduled.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time on the Marketing Checklist Viewcast.